So hopefully from this, you've understood that there's other strategies besides regression, just outcome regression methods for estimating causal effects, which is a very important thing that we do in epidemiology. And you may learn about these in a little bit more detail in your other courses, but perhaps not in a kind of like rigorous potential outcomes causal framework. So I just wanted to present them here so that you at least can tie them together and realize they're all kind of doing the same thing, and mathematically are super closely related. And the big takeaway as well is that you don't really have to worry about it too much, because if you use these doubly robust methods, and TMLE in particular, with machine learning, that's kind of almost always the way to go. It's really hard to say that there's some situation that you should be doing something else that's not this. And another point that's not here that I do want to remind you is that TMLE and actually also AIPW to a lesser extent, these are tools that are applicable for lots of different kinds of estimates, not just ATE in an observational study. So if you've defined a causal estimate that has to do with mediation, or a causal estimate that has to do with moderation, or something else that's interest, a kind of like a continuous intervention where you want to know what's the effect of increasing everyone's dose by 10%, stuff that we've kind of touched on in the, I think, in some of the challenge assignments. Any kind of estimate like that, you can also do a TMLE for that. And it's going to end up being the same. You do your identification result from your causal estimate. You get some kind of estimate that is observable, or a quote unquote statistical estimate, and it's probably going to have some conditional means in it, some outcome regression or propensity score type regression. So you do your machine learning type thing there, and then you can apply TMLE on top of that to modify those things, or to kind of debias and get a nice estimate. And like we saw in the last lecture, not only are these methods doubly robust, which is what we were talking about here, but TMLE and AIPW actually give you the smallest possible variance out of all estimators. There's statistical theory that shows that you can't actually do better than this. So there's not a lot of reason to consider other stuff in general.